Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Comprehensive manga. I brush high burning videos, break through defenses in all worlds. Chen travels through different worlds and activates short videos from all over the world. As long as he posts the video, he can be seen by characters from all over the world and receive rewards. Opening clip of highly acclaimed scenes in the world. Let the world feel pain, pain comes. Top of the war, the world's strongest glory. The power of God, he is Uchiha. The scene of high fame has shaken all worlds. Aizen, you have fallen. What kind of God is this when a supernova explodes but remains calm and composed? The most difficult choice requires the strongest will. Finger Universe. I am only a billion points stronger than him. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The peacock in the morning, the tiger in the day, and the elephant in the night. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I don't know if this video will become popular. Chen pressed the enter button hard, as if he had exhausted all his strength, then took a long breath and sat down on the sofa. During this period, he hasn't slept much for several consecutive days, and his whole body has collapsed. I hope you can give me a like, collect more, and receive flowers, reviews, and monthly tickets. Chen leaned against the sofa, watching the video playing on the computer screen, muttering to herself. In fact, he doesn't belong to this world at all. A few months ago, he didn't know how he came into this world. Or rather, this is called a parallel world. Chen had already become accustomed to this kind of life in just a few days. At this moment, a small video he had just made, which had not yet been officially released, was playing on the computer screen. The first scene of Wanjie Mingshi. In the morning, the peacock appears, in the day, the tiger appears, and in the evening, the elephant emerges and performs a triumphant dance at night. This was edited by Chen after spending a few days. In my previous life, I worked on short video self-media, and in this world, I can only do my old job. It's not a problem to make a living. Ding! A crisp voice sounded. Suddenly, a pop-up window popped up. Congratulations to the host on becoming the creator of Wanjie projection video. Chen saw the news with a corner of his eye and suddenly sat up from the sofa. Wanjie projection. Chen became excited as if he had discovered a huge secret. But upon careful consideration, there's something fishy going on. Is it possible that the computer has been poisoned? Just as I was thinking about it, another pop-up window popped up. May I ask if the host wants to sign a contract with Wanjie Video? Chen nodded in agreement, half believing and half doubting, without any loss. If it's true, wouldn't it be a big profit? Since everyone has traveled on their own, there is nothing impossible. After some thought, Chen immediately posted the video she had just recorded. Testing. 1 minute later. Congratulations, the first video of the Wanjie famous scene was successfully uploaded. The reward will be distributed within 24 hours, please check it carefully. One Piece World. The Warring States period was busy in the office when suddenly his eyebrows furrowed and he looked up with a strange expression, while the yellow ape also looked at him with a puzzled expression. 4 eyes facing each other. What, Paulisolino? The gaze of the Warring States period was fixed. Well, it seems you heard it too. Is this a capable person? As the yellow ape spoke, he stuffed his nail clipper into his pocket. Just as he was about to speak during the Warring States period, a virtual screen suddenly appeared in front of him. Marshal of the Warring States period, this time it's not that simple. The yellow ape may not understand, but it doesn't care either. At this moment, text appeared on the black screen. Wanjie Video. At this moment, the sound of knocking on the door rang out, please come in. The voice of the Warring States period sounded. A Navy officer walked over with a strange expression on his face. Marshal, for some reason, a strange screen appeared in front of all the navies. Well, I understand now. Don't worry, let's see what this capable person has prepared. At the same time, the Straw Hat Pirates also noticed this scene on the screen. Luffy held his straw hat and looked curiously at the picture on the screen. Hey, Luffy, do you think it's strange? A rubber man with more elasticity than his body is even stranger. Sauron waved his long sword in his hand. Green algae head, you talk so much. Circle your eyebrows, what are you saying? Whitebeard Pirates, New World, waha. Watching his sons nervous, Beard laughed. Anyway, with my dad around, I will definitely protect you, children. The 100 Beasts Kaiduo Pirates Baisho Kaiduo was drinking while casually looking at the screen. Well, it must be because I drank too much and had hallucinations. The other 3 disasters are also secretly looking forward to appearing on Wanjia Video. After all, this is something that can be seen all over the world. On Cake Island, there was silence. Charlotte Lingling sat on the throne, wiped the cream from the corners of her mouth, and looked at the screen with a hint of madness in her eyes. Ma. Is there anyone else who wants to challenge me? Don't worry, let's eat. I haven't eaten enough yet. Red-haired pirate group Red-haired Shanks stood at the bow of the Red Fox, looking at the light curtain in front of him with a thoughtful expression on his face. It seems that the balance is about to be disrupted. I don't know which younger generation is unaware of it. At the same time, at a height of 10,000 meters in the air, a man with 2 swords on his feet chuckled strangely. Big news. I don't know if it was the one where I had a big scene at the Navy headquarters. It's now. It's time for them to see us, we're the real pirates. Just like the world of pirates, a storm has stirred up around the world. Fire Shadow World, Huiying, are you sure that this was not done by my? The Shimaru said lightly. We don't know. The 3 generations on the side also looked bewildered. This Chinese ninja exam should be the most popular, right? I'm sure I can make it to this Wanjia Video, Sakura asked. Sakura is right, Naruto exclaimed. What my goddess says is what she says. Sasuke looked at them disdainfully and said, you 2 fools. News. Sasuke recalled that night. Death Void Circle. Aizen looked at her subordinates with a puzzled expression and asked coldly. It's a bit unexpected, but it's okay. Yurukio Lamian Noodles is expressionless. However, he is still very curious about the video in front of him. Not long after, this video that caught the attention of everyone in the world finally began to play. The first scene of Wanjia Mingxia. In the morning, the peacock appears, in the day, the tiger appears, and in the evening, the elephant emerges and performs a triumphant dance at night. 8 doors open together, Night Kai. Might Kai vs 6 Paths, a heart-shaking kick. Chapter 2. The Power of the 6 Paths. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When they saw the document, everyone was stunned. Nanny, is Mr. Kai's name also on it? Kakashi widened her eyes. Is it Kai? Did we underestimate him? My village, not far from here. Might Kai glanced at the title and was completely stunned. Matt. Kai. How could it be, Kai, you're up there. Kai and the others were all surprised. And Metki's opponent, 6 Paths, Ban. Spot. Is it Uchiha? Why don't you call him Uchiha? What are 6 spots? At this time, neither Kakashi nor Uchiha, nor Yuriko, nor even the power of the 6 Paths, had ever been in contact. Unconsciously, Metki had already walked between them. Kai, I didn't expect you to become so strong in the future, but the 8 gates of Duanjia and the Death Gate. Kakashi was surprised and worried again. He is too clear about what this represents. Although he was able to appear in the video, opening the Death Gate of the 8 Duanjia means that Kai is dead. On the other side, Uchiha laughed heartily. His laughter was filled with arrogance and pride. The power of the six paths. At this moment, Uchiha is eagerly anticipating. He knows that this is fate. Only the world established by those who have monthly studies is a true paradise. There is no war, no suffering. Everyone is immersed in a dreamland. Uchiha smiled and calmed his mood for a moment. His gaze fell on another name on the title. Who is Meki? Does he have the qualification to fight against me, the future 6 strong warriors? Will he be the first person in the future? In Uchiha's view, even Qinsho Zhujian is not his opponent. Meki. Why do you want to defeat me just because of your 8 gates of Duanjia? It's just a joke, even worse than ants. In his view, compared to the 6 paths, the 8 gates Duanjia is completely at a different level. But soon, he laughed. It is obvious that the protagonist is not Meki, but himself. Come on, I will show you how powerful the power of Uchiha is. Camera replay. Next, we are the blue beast of Muyi, the 7th startled door. Open. Might Kai has arrived at the battlefield, facing Uchiha, with a hint of solemnity in his eyes. The strong beings of the heavens and all worlds felt a slight shock when the 7th shock door opened. Ba Men Dun Jia. It's so powerful, I can feel the power of that blue flame, exclaimed the yellow ape. Such strong strength, how did this Meki suddenly become so strong? The Warring States period watched this scene, and a hint of strangeness flashed in his eyes. Isn't that enough? From any perspective, it's just that the Uchiha wave pattern is stronger. The 8 gates of Duanjia and the 6 paths of power are indeed the strongest on land, exclaimed Kapu. The world of spiritual cages, wow, boss, is this too impressive? It's too domineering. Too cool, boss, I want to learn. Fighting, fighting. I can't wait anymore. In the world of Hokage. The faces of Kakashi and others also became solemn. Does Kai have the strength to defeat Uchiha? How do you think it's impossible, right? As expected. Meki used his ultimate move as soon as he arrived. Day Tiger. A white ripple suddenly appeared, enveloping the Might Kai and Uchiha waves. This is a powerful force that compresses air and releases it all at once. And it looks like a white tiger. The name of the Day Tiger comes from it. The great powers of the heavens and all worlds were startled. How impressive. Air cannon. How strong is his strength? Is that all? The attack power of the Day Tiger is indeed very strong, and its deterrent power is also very strong. In the depths of great voyages, in the world of pirates. Kai Duo held a huge wine glass and watched this video with great interest. Fire Shadow Undead World. A smile appeared at the corner of Uchiha's mouth and he said, the 7th shocking door is not red mist. You really underestimate me. Come on, let me see the true strength of the 6 paths. So far, Uchiha didn't take Kai seriously at all. In his eyes, Kai was just an ant, used to set off his existence. Even if it is the 8 gates Duanjia, he will be killed with one sword. The power of the 6 paths is truly the strongest. After the explosion, everyone finally saw clearly that the 6 spots were unharmed, while Meki fell directly to the ground, looking unconscious. Really? Can't we really defeat it? Uchiha's strength is indeed very strong, said Huang with a teasing expression on his face. Seeing this scene, the powerful beings from all over the world were greatly disappointed. One Punch Superman World Janos glanced at Chiyu and said, Teacher, although this Meki is impressive, he's not very good either. Who edited it and used such a video to fool us? Don't worry, it's not that easy. There must be another exciting battle ahead, and Meki will definitely give it his all. At this moment, Saitama's heart was filled with anticipation, as he had not encountered such a strong person in a long time. Giants, Azura Unicorn Immortals, and even the Deep Sea King are still far behind. Chapter 3. Childhood Memories. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Fire Shadow World. This Uchiha is indeed very strong, able to withstand the attack of Jingmen. Kakashi witnessed this scene with his own eyes. This is a force that even he finds difficult to deal with. But when faced with Ban, he remained unscathed. It's really unreasonable. But what Kakashi is more concerned about is his eyes. Kaleidoscope, he murmured to himself. Not only Uchiha, but even Kakashi looked forward to it. How strong should he be if he really masters the kaleidoscope writing will I? For some reason, Kakashi's mind conjured up a picture of Uchiha carrying soil. At the same time, the soil hidden in the shadows also fell into contemplation. Uchiha. Did I fail? He remembers the smiling girl. Can't I create a world where you are the only one? Assassin Wu Lyochi World Aki cuts people's hair on one side. Oh my, this Meki is too miserable, he lost so easily. Hehe, this guy is not a good guy. I hope he won't come to our little chicken island, otherwise, the whole little chicken island will be destroyed by him. Aki looked at the arrogant 6 spots, and some memories seemed to come to mind. It seems that he was once so powerful. At the same time, Stan state. The Prince of Stan looked at Uchiha, with a gleam in his eyes. I don't know if our technology can beat this person. Huiying World, Tuyin Village. Yuji Boban is a monster. However, this Maikai is too naive. With just his little skills, he also wants to defeat Yuji Boban. Are you joking? With just one dust run, I can burn him to ashes. I can't even defeat Yuji Boban, let alone defeat him. At this point, Lord Taiying's temper was also extremely peculiar. Or rather, it is arrogance. Ban's strength, he has personally experienced it. Just being a top ninja and wanting to compete with Uchiha is like a foolish dream. The mockery of Tsukiyoshi Inoki is not a strange thing. In fact, this is also the idea in the hearts of many strong people. At this point, the video is still ongoing, but the next scene is no longer a battle. Curious, he continued to look down. Is this the Meki from childhood? Moby Dick, the undead bird Marco was slightly stunned. What is the situation? Why is it back in the past now? Could it be what the author wants to express? Whitebeard sat there, watching the scene. He looked back on the past. Everyone laughed at his disdain for treasures. But what he thinks of is family, not treasure. Everyone was patient and continued to watch. There must be a reason for doing this. At the same time, Meki also had a bewildered expression on his face. Watching this scene, he also remembered some past events. That was when Meki couldn't enter the ninja academy when he was a child. On the screen, Kai sat on his father Matt's shoulder, constantly searching for the admission list. But Meki's name did not appear on the list of over 100 people. However, he is still searching. His father has also been encouraging him. The strong of the heavens have different thoughts. Unable to enroll. A miserable childhood. Can you stop reminiscing? I want to see the strength of Uchiha. Some people seem to be touched and reminisce about their childhood. Some people, on the other hand, become impatient and feel that this is simply a waste of time. He can't wait to see the power of Uchiha. But no matter how they roast, the video just can't jump. We can only observe its changes in silence. In the world of spiritual cages, Bai Uekue remained silent and no one knew what she was thinking. In the world of supernatural beings, the angel impatiently said, "It's a waste of time. How could Meki have such strong strength? Why think of him? Who didn't have a tragic childhood? We angel warriors have all been trained hard since childhood." Angel Yen said, "Don't worry, I think there must be a reason for the author to do this. These ordinary people are different from ordinary people, maybe they can give us some inspiration. Holy Kaisha sat on the throne without speaking, but her thoughts were somewhat similar to those of Baiuekue. The strength of Uchiha is very strong, and they are well aware that this Metki is likely to be a miracle. Hokage. It's really Kai, this scene is like the afterglow of a great war. Alas, no matter in which era, war is inevitable. Inside the Huiying building, Ape Flying Sun / looked at Might Kai's memories and let out a sigh in his heart. After all, the resources and development level of the 5 major villages are not balanced, and there are also many contradictions within the ninja realm. Then, he remembered the scene when Kai had just entered the ninja academy. At that time, Kai didn't pass the exam. He hung a banner and swore to run 500 laps on the playground. But this is just his wishful thinking. But the monkey flying sun / did not stop it. It was not until the supplementary recording was completed that the 3rd generation realized that only 2 people had been included in the supplementary recording process. Later, Metki was added. This is Teacher Kai. Fire Shadow Undead World Mr. Ban also had an impatient expression on his face. What's the situation? Quickly unleash the power of the 6 paths of reincarnation. Why do you want to recall Metki? I have to kill him if I come back to life. Chapter 4. 8 Gates Escaping Armor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The memory is still ongoing. Metki's tragic childhood. I haven't attended ninja school. There is no ninjutsu, no illusion. I don't know how many people have mocked me. Father was ridiculed, and Metki went to argue with someone, but was beaten to pieces. During class, the teacher mentioned the use of clone technique, but what comes out of the clone is only a pile of clothes. When doing things, they are also very clumsy. It is completely a bottom-up existence. Naruto was stunned. So there are still people like him. Sass frowned and finished last. How did it appear on this video? Bottom of the line. I don't understand anything, it's really tough. Being able to fight against Uchiha is a remarkable thing in itself. Diligent guy. It's a bit interesting, but how should the 6 paths deal with it? This can't be described as a genius anymore, it's just a demon, god. At the same time. Yunin Village. The 4th generation of Lei Ying watched this scene, and a strange color flashed in her eyes. Yenin Village. 3 generations of Tsukiyoshi Inoki also remained silent, and he could see that the author seemed to have a different plan when telling about Kai's past. But who is this author? Surprisingly, one can see the past and the future, but in this video, there are so many strong figures, and the author is definitely not an ordinary person. He even doubted whether the author was Uchiha. Although this idea is absurd. However, the strength of the spot surprised Inoki greatly. At this moment, the screen turned into black and white. Everyone is excited and coming. The highlight is here. But soon, he heard the sound. It's from Metki. The azure beast will disappear from here. It's time to turn into a red beast. 8 gates of Dunjia formation, Death Gate, open. As this sentence fell, a picture appeared on the screen. Bang! A huge explosion sounded. Red steam instantly fills the entire screen. A head of red hair, standing upright like flames burning. A strong and unparalleled aura rushed towards me. The yellow ape was originally a bit impatient, but his face changed and he said, "What a terrifying aura." In the Warring States period, he was shocked and said, "The 8 gates of Dunjia's Death Gate actually means this. This is just amazing, isn't it?" Qingji widened his eyes and looked shocked. The red dog did not speak, but clearly also had a shocked expression on its face. One Punch Superman World, Janos was stunned. "Teacher, is this the power of death?" Chiyu saw this scene and a hint of joy appeared on her face. How could there be such a strong person in this world? It would be very interesting to engage with such people. Above the sea surface. The Straw Hat Pirates so strong. This uncle is really handsome. From being at the bottom to being able to compete with the gods. It's too strong. If that's the case, I can do it too. A hint of confidence rose in Sauron's heart. For many people, Metki's experience is a kind of motivation. Fire Shadow World Teacher Kai, come on. Naruto cheered. Kakashi was also surprised and stared intently. And the strong in other worlds, upon seeing the Kaihuang's 8 gates, were also shocked. Then, he remembered a scene from before. It's not easy to get from the bottom to this point. But can this really defeat Uchiha? This is too risky, isn't it? Marco took a closer look and found that Uchiha still had a cold and icy appearance. It seems that Ba Men Kai is not taken seriously at all. The white beard had a solemn expression. All the strong are looking forward to this battle. Battle, ready to explode. Is it because all 8 doors are open that I feel this way? But now it seems that it's just that. 6 Spots sneered. This scene left everyone stunned. What a big breath. The powerful force of Might Kai is like a fallen leaf in front of him. Is this the power of Uchiha? Even me, when facing such a strong person, dare not be careless at all. How big is the gap between Uchiha and me? Kaido's patience has been exhausted. With his strength, it is almost impossible for him to be arrogant in front of Uchiha. Red-haired Shanks even wants to fight against Uchiha. Even if we can't fight, we still have to fight. Just like every swordsman, he wants to challenge Eagle Eye. The goal for Red Hair this time is very high. Kai said calmly, "You're right. I will become the nourishment for new leaves, which will be the most brilliant time of my life." This statement immediately resonated with many people. Especially for Shaoli, this is especially true in the world of Hokage. Teacher Kai, I understand. I will continue to work hard. The other ninjas in the ninja world were also shocked by Kai's words. The monkey flew and the sun chopped in his heart. The 4th generation Thunder Shadow and the 3rd generation Earth Shadow, on the other hand, stopped mocking and speaking, but showed a hint of solemnity. This kind of power is beyond even their reach. Ba Men Dun Jia is a terrifying ninjutsu. But they all know that it depends on the caster. Kai's own strength is very strong, coupled with all his energy being devoted to the 8 gates, which is why he has achieved his current success. Otherwise, even Kakashi and others may not be able to achieve this. Taking Might Dai as an example, although he can still open 8 doors, this is the difference in strength. At this moment, Metki suddenly took action. So fast. The yellow ape's pupils shrank and he was startled in his heart. Here we go. I want to see how strong Metki really is. With Metki's move, many strong players became excited. And then Metki punched out, and the huge punch compressed the surrounding air. Formed a stronger night elephant than the day tiger. The air cannon released by the day tiger covers a large area. The evening elephant contracted into a straight, thick line. The power is naturally incomparable. This scene shocked everyone. What a terrifying punch. Even I can't handle it. The coexistence of speed and strength has reached the limit of the human body. These 8 hidden armor formations, at the cost of burning life, are truly incredible. With just one punch, Uchiha was pressed to the ground. However, he stopped. Is it because the body is overloaded? Metki, hold on. Chapter 5. May I call you the strongest? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The strong men of all worlds and heavens are mesmerized by it. Killing Uchiha is such a terrifying thing. Afterwards, the screen turned and the battle began again. Metki launched another attack, this time in a continuous manner. 1. 2. He let out a low growl. Yuji Boban was suffocated by the fist wind. 3. Kai's eyes suddenly widened and he let out a low growl. Too strong. 8-gate Duinjia. In this battle, Meki has won. Uchiha cannot move. So strong. A group of strong individuals, upon seeing this, were also convinced of the power of Emperor Kai. Then. Woo! Kai's gaze flickered and he suddenly spoke. Bang! A loud bang came. Although he has transformed Chiyodayu into a black ball, with the help of Kakashi and Bufeng Shuemen, Meki still has an absolute advantage. All in. So impressive, so excited. Among the people watching the video, there are many strong ones. At this moment, everyone was boiling with excitement, wishing to enter the video now and engage in a thrilling battle. He wants to see how strong the 8 gates Duinjia is. However, I am about to defeat Uchiha. After flying far away, he suddenly spewed out a mouthful of blood. Then let's continue dancing. Yuji Boban's mouth curved into a grimace. Fire Shadow Undead World Uchiha is no exception. Ha ha ha. Come on, Meki, give it your all. At this moment, Uchiha's mood reached its peak, and he was eager to see Meki's next attack. But the powerhouses of other worlds are shocked. Isn't that enough? Can we say that Uchiha is still the protagonist? Shouldn't there be more? That move, Shixiang, is not powerful enough. Many strong people still hold a glimmer of hope, thinking that things won't be so simple. Sure enough, Meki propped his hands on the ground and made a sprint. Bang! A huge explosion sounded. The red steam exploded, causing the surrounding ground to explode. Countless strong people were shocked by it. What's going on? What a terrifying aura, is this the final blow? On the sea. The members of the Straw Hat Pirates were trembling all over. That uncle, how amazing. He's not even human. Just like monsters, they're all monsters. Numerous strong individuals gathered together. Following closely, a red dragon's head emerged. Accompanied by the roar of wild beasts. Paired with the deafening background music. Yuji Boban said excitedly, I agree with this chakra. In terms of physical skills, none of the opponents I have seen can surpass you. I am willing to call you the strongest. As soon as this message comes out, the heavens and all realms tremble. Too strong. I didn't expect Yuji Boban to say such words. This Meki is really amazing. What a terrifying aura, even I'm afraid I can't withstand his final blow, can I? Kaido thinks so. One Punch Superman. Geno's eyes were empty as he murmured, I am willing to call you the strongest. Chiyu's eyes were burning, full of fighting spirit, and she couldn't wait to have a big battle with Emperor Kai. Sonic, his eyes wide open. Yeah. Ninjas should be like this. I also want to learn the 8 gates Duinjia. The world of spiritual cages. The little girl Xia Do covered her mouth with shock on her face. Fatty, Broken Star Imperial Sister, and even the boss by Uekue had a complex expression on their faces, with a hint of surprise flashing in their eyes. He never imagined that there would be such a strong person in this world. It is truly fortunate to be able to watch such an exciting video. Super Divine World. Even the proud Angel Ling dared not speak up and mock anymore. It is obvious that she recognizes Meki. Although this blow is not enough to kill Uchiha. But even so, it is still enough to leave people amazed. Being able to go from being at the bottom to this step. No strong person dares to show any negligence. Of course. Except for perverts. King Frieza is an example. What a joke. The struggle between weak races is nothing in front of me. No Meki is my opponent. In the Dragon Ball world, Wukong has not yet started the Super Series 1. At this moment, his heart was lifted to his throat. He has seen too many strong people along the way. I'm too excited. If it weren't for the helplessness, Sun Wukong would really want to fly over and have a fight with them. As a belligerent scion, as long as there is battle, it is enough. One Piece World Straw Hat Luffy and his companions. Luffy was jumping and jumping with excitement. Sauron shook involuntarily as he held the hand of Hadao Yuan. Huiying, the monkey-flying Sun Slayer, watched this scene and was completely stunned. Kai is just an upper ninja, how could he have such power? The 4th generation Thunder Shadow, the 3rd generation Earth Shadow, and the 4th generation Wind Shadow all have a hopeful expression on their faces. And at this moment, the video is still continuing. The background music started playing. Emperor Kai launched an attack, and the huge dragon head charged forward. This is an incredible speed. Ban exclaimed in surprise. So fast. What's even more terrifying is just when Uchiha wanted to stop it. Twisted space. What speed is this? What a terrifying force is this? One Piece world. The yellow ape stared blankly at this scene. Completely shocked. He considers himself to be extremely fast and can be called the #1 pirate in the world. Even any road on an empty island may not be able to match him. However, it is impossible to distort space. This is the combination of speed and strength. It's hard to imagine the consequences of this blow. Kaido put down the large wine jug in his hand and looked at the scene in front of him with an expectant expression. If he turns into a dragon, wouldn't he be dying with this one step? Even the burly ant forgot to take the food in her hand. I dare not be reckless anymore. On an island, red-haired Shanks watched this scene with a hint of war in his eyes. I really want to have a fight with him. Similarly, there is the naval hero Cap. Even his strongest armed aura erupted at this moment. The powerful beings from all over the world showed signs of shock. Everyone held their breath and waited. Chapter 6. Yi Kai. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Kai. Emperor Kai let out an angry roar. His entire strength is concentrated on his right leg. He slammed a punch into Ban's body. The morning is like a peacock, the day is like a tiger, and at night, the elephant emerges and performs a triumphant dance. At night the mortal body is on par with the gods. Kai Huang, after the red dragon, came to an end. Then the screen slowly darkened. Is this over? Many people are still in shock, unable to recall for a long time. Just when everyone thought this video was over. The next moment, the screen slowly lit up again. It's just a slightly noisy old movie quality. It is obvious that this time it is a memory. But this time, no one has any impatience. This is out of respect for the Kaiser. In the picture, a tall and short figure appears, wearing a ninja combat suit. Then the camera turned and a silver-haired boy wearing a black mask said to the tall and short figure of the boy. Hey, kid, what's your name? Upon hearing this, the young man paused slightly, and in the next moment, a surprised look flashed on his face. Metki. Young Kai exaggeratedly waved his arm and said. In the future, he will become a stronger man than anyone else. Then the young boy Kai extended his big finger towards the camera. Thank you for your support. The screen froze and then slowly faded. This time, the video really came to an end. Too strong, I didn't expect there to be such a strong person in the world. If I could fight him, I would have no regrets in this life. This time, even Uchiha has become a supporting figure. This ninja, named Metki. He will become my lifelong pursuit. Unfortunately, without the later scenes, could Kai have died just by opening the door to death? I don't know why, I feel very lonely. Although it was just the first shot in the video, everyone was shocked. In the video, the weakness of Kai Huang in his childhood is compared to his current strength. As a mortal, challenge Uchiha. Give people a heartfelt shock. Spell returns to the world of war. Wu Jiaowu remained silent for a long time before suddenly speaking with a hint of admiration in his tone. There are actually such strong people in this world. One Punch Superman World Geno's eyes were filled with shock. Teacher, Matt Kai is still a very good person. Chiyu nodded, showing great respect for those with strong abilities. If he is his own enemy and lacks strength, Chiyu will still be angry. Assassin Wu Yochi World Aki learned from Might Kai's tone and said, "Amazing, open the 8 gates Duanjia formation for me." The chicken next to him rolled his eyes. The only thing he can do now is to pray that Uchiha does not appear on Chicken Island. Otherwise, everyone on the island will be ruined. The battle between the strong is enough to destroy the entire Chicken Island. The world of spiritual cages, wow, boss, I'm about to cry. That guy Yuji Boban is like an unbeatable villain. Matt Kai is too strong to beat him like this. That's right, Meki can defeat the gods as a mortal, this is our role model. Of course, there are also some powerful individuals who have not shown much reaction. For example, Frieza, vanquishing the Overlord. Most people are still in shock. The first stunning scene has finished playing, and everyone has been shocked. Especially in the world of Hokage, this is even more so. The monkey flying sun / was horrified in his heart. Are you talking about Uchiha? If it were him, it would be a big deal. The entire ninja world is going to have a big earthquake. Moreover, one thing can be certain. If Uchiha is still alive, it would be a huge threat to Kiba and the entire ninja realm. It's still the world of Hokage. Shaoli, Kakashi, and I Love Luo have already been recognized by many people. Isn't this the upper ninja Might Kai of Kiba? I didn't expect this guy to be so powerful. Might Kai, Kakashi, this is a person from Konoha. This guy must be related to Konoha and has forged a dimensional projection. I'm going to find Konoha's bunch of bastards to settle accounts with. If they don't make friends, we'll fight them. Okay, then let's fight. Do you think Tuin Village will be afraid of you? With the emergence of projection, the entire world of Hokage exploded, with Kiba Village being the first to be affected. Other forces also joined in, fearing that the world would not be chaotic. The 5 great ninja villages have been fighting tirelessly all year round, with deep blood feuds between them. They long for the other side to perish, and those small ninja villages have suffered from the bullying of the 5 great ninja villages. They have long held back their grievances, hoping that the 5 great ninja villages will immediately engage in a fierce battle and fight to the death. In an unnamed tea house somewhere in the Fire Shadow world, a blonde woman with blue eyes was lazily sitting behind her desk, staring at the light curtain. Her face was gloomy and she didn't know what she was thinking. She was tied in a ponytail, with a blue-purple mark on her forehead. She was wearing a dark green robe and a loose sleeveless top, with a curvy figure that made people couldn't help but take a few more glances. Behind her was a young woman dressed in a black kimono with a peaceful face. "Have you found anything, Lord Gangsho?" Seeing that Gangsho's emotions were not right, Mute couldn't help but ask. This is definitely fake. It's just too realistic. It's impossible, it's been so many years, how could he not have died? Gangsho muttered to himself as if he had not heard the silent words. She was raised by Gangsho since childhood, and after so many years of getting along, she knows Gangsho too well. It is obviously not a small matter to make Gangsho have such a reaction. After pondering for a moment, he continued to ask, "Lord Gumgate, who is the person you mentioned?" Gangsho turned his head, hesitated for a moment, and said, "Ban. Uchiha Ban." After hearing this sentence, Silent's face suddenly changed, as if she had seen some terrifying demon, and her expression became extremely difficult to see. The name Yuji Boban is not well known among many people in the world of Konoha, but everyone who has heard of him is not afraid of it. Strictly speaking, Uchiha is the grandfather of Tsunade, who founded the village of Kiba. However, later on, Yuji Boban fell out with the first Hokage, ran away from home, and did many crazy things, forcing the first Hokage Chichizuan to personally take action and kill him. Back then, Uchiha was already a divine existence. If Uchiha were still alive, his strength would have reached such a terrifying level. Chapter 7. The Strongest Sky Overlord. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lord Huiying, why don't we call them over and ask them clearly? A member of the dark side said. This matter is of great significance because they already know that the person who is fighting against Mekki is Uchiha. If Uchiha is really not dead, it will be a huge blow to the entire ninja world. Although this possibility is small, for safety reasons, it is better to find someone in the projection to confirm the situation. Monkey Flying Sun slanted and said, no need. This is definitely fake. The members of the dark department were momentarily stunned, but soon regained their senses. Although the projection looks very realistic, its credibility is not high. The weakness of Ba Men Dunjia is not a secret. Once the 8 gates are opened, it is a dead end. After opening the 8th gate, Might Dai only killed 3 ninjas and then passed away. The ninjas in Cheyenne village have a relaxed expression on their faces. Because they all saw me love Luo. So, my love for Luo can also play a certain role in future wars. Fengying Luosha suddenly became excited. Although I love Luo, who is still a monster now, as a father, he is still very happy because he knows that his future can improve. Kenjulang and Shoju both look surprised. My younger brother is really amazing. Just like Sass gave me, my love for Luo's heart was filled with hatred. He never imagined that one day he would become so strong. The hatred in my heart seems to have dissipated. Because he looks like everything is normal now. On the other side, Mat Kai's kick was also noticed by the people of the Shao organization. Their hearts are trembling. Yi Kai, such a strong physique, even I can't stop this kick. Didera was speechless, but he still had great confidence in himself. Apart from the weasel, I have never been afraid of anyone. Even he dared to go to Shang village, knock out my beloved Luo, and then take him away. This shows his arrogance. But after witnessing Kai's power, Didera had to admit that he simply did not have this qualification. The ghost shark's eyes were full of war intent. Yujibo Itachi is also pondering countermeasures. How could Kai be so strong? In the world of Hokage, everyone was shaken by the terrifying power of Yi Kai. How could his physical skills be so strong? It's impossible, I must have been dizzy. You're so handsome. If this is done, what's the point? What do you think? 8-gate Duanjia is notoriously difficult, and there aren't many people who can practice it. The previous verbal abuse caused a considerable sensation in the world of Hokage, and projection has also become a hot topic. Almost everyone is talking about this scene. Mekki didn't care about it. Out of the shadows, he went to a Lamian noodles shop and ate a bowl of Lamian noodles. Suddenly, a group of children rushed in outside the Lamian noodles restaurant and surrounded Kai. Not bad. It's him. Teacher Kai. I want to learn this. You were so handsome with that kick just now. Please sign your name. Where did the red mist come from? Can you teach me this move? The children became excited, as if they had seen their idols, and shouted loudly around Kai. Surrounded by a group of children, Kai suddenly came to life and began signing autographs for the surrounding children, answering their questions, and putting all doubts behind him. All heavens and all realms. Countless viewers from different dimensions couldn't help but admire this man named Kai as they watched this scene. No matter what dimension it is. It's really cool to use your life to protect what you want to protect. Worth the respect of anyone. This is not a matter of strength. This steadfastness shocked everyone. Everyone was moved. One Punch Superman World Janos was still shocked by the battle between the Kaiser and the Six Paths. As he spoke, he turned his head to look at Chiyu and said, "Teacher, there are so powerful people in this world. This is no less than King, the strongest hero on earth. However, I see that the strength of Emperor Kai has exceeded the limits of humanity. Teacher, do you think you can make it on the list? Chiyu was full of fighting spirit, but as she listened, she shook her head and said, the opponents I have encountered are too weak to arouse my interest. We must find those two guys and have a good fight. Super Divine World. Angel Leng did not mock Kai anymore, but said calmly, your power is very strong. For a human being, it is already remarkable. Yeah, if we can make it to the list like this, then the war between our angels and demons will definitely make it to the list. Maybe we can take out a heavenly blade and knock them out. The angels of the supernatural world do not care. But with patience and some interest, I continued to watch. And the royal civilization universe. On Earth, Morgana is resting and seeing this scene. This Metki is a bit strange and looks quite interesting. Otto, help me inquire and see if there's a chance to win him over. As she spoke, she said, I don't know if I can make it on the list. I stabbed that slut with one sword, so I should be on the list too, right? The angel who stabbed me in the back. Obedience, Your Majesty the Queen. The demon Otto beside responded. Your Majesty, you will definitely be on the list. Well, you're right, Morgana nodded and cursed, those bitches won't be on the list too, will they? Seeing them, my mood is not very good. Hokage. Naruto exclaimed in surprise, Teacher Kai is so powerful, no wonder there is a legend that he can destroy 5 villages. I am looking forward to what will happen next. Sass also nodded and said, Teacher Kai's kick is like a divine presence. Who wouldn't want to become a true powerhouse? Kakashi was startled in his heart and whispered, I've been fighting with you for so long, so you've been hiding your strength. In the Huiying office of my village, Yuan Fei said solemnly. What earth-shattering events will happen next? Is it the first war, perhaps the second, perhaps the third, or is it the battle between Uchiha and Shishuzu? On the other hand, the 4th generation of Lei Ying and others, as well as the 3rd generation of Tu Ying and the 4th generation of Feng Ying, also showed signs of confusion. Assassin Wu Liuqi World Aki pushed a bowl of beef offal aside, ready to sell, while Ji Dabao continued to look at the screen. Aki spoke out and said, Dabao, do you think there will still be ninjas in the upcoming plot who look very handsome? What do you care about doing so much? Focus on doing your business, said Ji Dabao in authentic Cantonese. Boss, give me a bowl of beef offal. Okay. One Piece World. Straw Hat Luffy and others finally came to their senses, showing a hint of shock. Sauron widened his eyes. His 3 worldviews have all been overturned. He thought Hawkeye was already very strong, but when he saw the battle between 6 Paths and Metki, he realized that his strength had reached its limit. Sauron finally understood that there were many strong individuals like Hawkeye in the New World. At least for now, he is still too weak. At this moment, Sauron's heart was filled with fear. Just this scene is chilling. What terrifying thing will happen next? The yellow ape eagerly awaits the next video. I don't know what will happen next. He was mesmerized by the sight. The Warring States period and Kapu both had the same expression. The strong men of all worlds are eagerly anticipating. I don't know when I can go to their pirate world. At this moment, a line of words appeared on the screen. The second bullet of the Wanjia famous scene. Golden Lion Shirji, the 1st generation of Owl Xiong, the strongest sky hegemon. Chapter 8. Original Navy Headquarters. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing this title and cover, the heart of the Warring States period jumped. Even though 20 years have passed, the familiar naval corpses in the cover picture still make his heart ache faintly. Shirji. What kind of divine is this author? I didn't expect this legend to be revealed again 20 years later. General, he couldn't help but sigh. Zifa looked at the pile of Navy corpses on the screen, and couldn't help but shiver. In the East China Sea, Kapu had a gloomy expression on his face, with armed and domineering fists entwined around him. Shiki. Meanwhile, on the Mary, Luffy widened his eyes and stared fixedly at the much younger Cap. Ha! Is it my grandfather? But what's the origin of that blonde kid? A Whitebeard glanced at the familiar figure and didn't know what to say. The nickname of the Golden Lion is Cruelty. I didn't expect to see the Golden Lion causing a big fuss at the Navy headquarters. He certainly knows what happened back then. Damn it. It's not Dad. The most exciting thing among them is undoubtedly the Golden Lion. Ah. I knew it. This is the person who knows me the best. The Golden Lion rubbed his bald head, suddenly feeling envious of his former appearance. Look. Look at the thick blonde hair. But was I already beaten at that time? Your Highness, that's natural. At that time, wasn't Roger already arrested? Nonsense. Otherwise, how would I attack the Navy headquarters? The screen has moved from the cover to the other side, which is the experience of the Golden Lion on the sea. He becomes a pirate, joins the rogue pirates, obtains the drifting fruit, and fights with Roger. And with this scene, there is also a narration. We are both friends and enemies. I know how strong you are. As the screen turned, the Golden Lion stood at the bow of the ship with a grim smile on its face and said, "How many times have I told you? Roger. Be my right-hand man. Roger." As the screen rotates, a character appears who has shocked the entire pirate world. Roger. This time, Roger's face showed a fierce light. I'm not interested in ruling this world. Shiki. What's the point of being a pirate? Zoom in and you can see hundreds of warships surrounding the Pirate King's ship. Absolutely 10 deaths without life. In this scene, everyone watching is experiencing scalp tingling. Isn't this too scary? This guy. Even the Pirate King dares to say it. The most terrifying thing is that the Pirate King encountered a strong enemy. Obviously Roger is going to be ruined, isn't he? Even Mihawk was shocked and said, "This Golden Lion is indeed a formidable enemy. I hope you're still alive." The screen rotates. It's also a rainy and gloomy weather. Big news. Big news. Pirate King Roger, he has been arrested by the Navy. After hearing this news, the Golden Lion couldn't believe its ears and grabbed a sailor and asked, "How could that be? You should know how strong his strength is, right? How could the Navy catch him?" "Boss, calm down." A pirate roared at the Golden Lion. But how could he possibly beat the crazy Golden Lion? "Don't talk nonsense." The Golden Lion slapped the pirate's face. "Boss, what are you doing? How could the Navy possibly catch you? I want to prove it to everyone. I'm going." Naval Headquarters. What a joke. Doflamenco covered his forehead, looking incredulous. Only one person. Going to the Navy headquarters. Is this a pirate? Just now, the Golden Lion cap appeared on the screen at the same time. What does this mean? Molia was panting heavily at this moment, looking at the back of the Golden Lion on the screen. How could it be? Cap and Warring States are still alive, and the Golden Lion disappeared decades ago. Moria suddenly realized, so, he's already dead. If he could get the body of the Golden Lion, that would be even better. Chatter 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 chatter. The Chapoti Islands. Raleigh took a sip of wine and said, "This was really done by the Golden Lion. Even our crew members cannot do it." When Roger was arrested and the rogue pirates disbanded, Raleigh knew what Roger wanted to do, so he didn't plan to break into the Navy headquarters and rescue Roger. The Golden Lion, on the other hand, was their enemy who fought all the way to the end on the sea. In order to save Roger, he unexpectedly broke into the Navy headquarters alone. "This is the Golden Lion I know," Xia Qi smiled. That time, it was indeed him who did it. As a member of the Rock's Pirates, Xia Qi's relationship with the Golden Lion has always been good, even better than others. At this moment, it's not just them. On the sea, there are countless pirates. The Golden Lion left alone towards the Navy headquarters, filled with pride in his heart. The pirate commander is invincible in battle. And those legendary pirates finally broke free from their constraints. As more and more news about the Golden Lion was exposed, those legendary pirates also reappeared in everyone's sight. Red Count, Golden Lion, World Destroyer, Devil Barret. Many people believe that even the Fourth Emperor cannot be their opponent. Not only in the world of pirates, but also in countless dimensions, it is faintly felt that this may be the beginning of a new era. The screen rotates. The sky was dimly lit, accompanied by the sound of gunfire and alarms. Enemy attack. Amidst the noise, countless navies rushed towards the same direction with a nervous expression on their faces. The gunfire roared and warships sank one by one. The enemy has arrived at the Sea of Marinfando. How many people are there in the other party? The screen switches to countless navies, with the lowest level being colonels, with a look of fear on their faces. Can this guy be? One person. Only, Golden Lion Shurji. Chapter 9. The Great Sword Hero. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, the younger generation of the Navy headquarters looked at the familiar and unfamiliar face on the screen with an incredulous expression. Most of the navies appearing on the screen are at the rank of lieutenant colonels, including young children, yellow apes, red dogs, and others. Even though he was the three marshals, his face was very ugly at this moment, and he dared not face the legendary pirate. It's so scary. More than 20 years have passed, and seeing him again, I still feel the pressure, said the yellow ape Pauliusolino with a bitter smile. Even though he has become a naval general, he still lacks any confidence in the face of the Golden Lion. The Golden Lion, this bastard. The Warring States period had a black line on its face. It had been many years, and he never forgot that the Golden Lion had escaped from prison. How could a person like the Golden Lion die silently? Zifa stood up, stretched lazily, but had no intention of looking for the Golden Lion. The Navy no longer has hope. The Whitebeard pirates, wahaha. Damn Shiki. Even a strong man like Whitebeard dare not claim to be able to defeat the Golden Lion. 3 legendary pirates, none of whom can do anything to each other. Compared to Roger, the floating fruit of the Golden Lion is like a pie falling from the sky. This is an unquestionable aerial hegemon. The floating fruit of the Golden Lion has reached an incredible level of development, allowing an island to hover in mid-air. Even after 20 years, it can still make more than 10 islands hover at an altitude of tens of thousands of meters. That's outrageous. Isn't that Shurji, Dad? I may not be weaker than him now. Marco spoke shamelessly. Stupid son. A deep voice sounded. Beast Kai Duo. Crazy Kaido, when he saw this figure, he was completely insane. Senior Golden Lion. I really hope you can kill me. Ow. Woo. Hokage. The other ninjas in the great ninja village also looked at the Golden Lion with a nervous expression on their faces. The aura emanating from the Golden Lion is completely different from other ninjas. This is the grandeur of a generation of heroes. Ape Flying Sun felt his scalp tingling. He never expected that there were so many powerful beings in this vast sea. In the sea. Death World Aizen still had a smiling expression, as if no one knew what he was thinking. But the slightly furrowed brow indicated his inner unease. Why are there so many experts appearing? I have been planning for so many years. Is it the screen switches to the long sword in the lion's hand, with blood dripping down the tip of the sword? With just you trash, you want to catch Roger. The Golden Lion's deep voice carried a hint of disbelief. He is the man I approve of. The Golden Lion closed its eyes and bit its cigar with an incredulous expression, letting the rain slide down his face. The sound of footsteps came in waves. The scene turned back and saw a man wearing a black suit and a white cloak standing behind the Golden Lion. General of the Warring States period. Roger is the Pirate King. After he won against you, he already quit. Upon hearing the words of the Warring States period, the Golden Lion suddenly turned and widened its eyes. So what? If he were willing to help me, we would have dominated the world long ago. At this point, the Golden Lion's face showed a hint of pain and closed its eyes again. Although there may be some discord, after all, they are from the same era. If I wanted to kill him, I would have killed him myself. The Golden Lion suddenly lifted its head, its pupils contracted, and a purple-black ripple spread out from his body. The terrifying shock wave spread, shattering all the glass within a radius of 10,000 miles, and cracks appeared on the walls. People below the rank of Rear Admiral have their eyes rolled over and collapsed to the ground. Only a Rear Admiral can barely withstand this spiritual shock. Even the sky, which was originally covered in dark clouds, dissipated instantly under the pressure of this domineering aura. The Golden Lion was completely detached from gravity and suspended in mid-air. Lion, Thousand Cut Valley shouted loudly and resounded loudly. Golden sword energies burst out from his two swords. With a loud bang, the golden long sword cut a huge groove in the naval headquarters. Even the seawater had a brief crack under this blow. With one sword, a vast sea was split open. Originally still watching the excitement, Mihawk suddenly stood up from his small coffin. A pair of eagle-like eyes stared fixedly at the Golden Lion. Although he was not a pure swordsman, his sword already possessed the strength of a great swordsman. From this perspective, this Golden Lion is definitely a rare great swordsman. And it's the kind that's not weak at all. Shiki, Golden Lion. I must find you out. Eagle-eyed Mihawk pulled out the black knife from behind, night, and swung it fiercely. Split open the sea. Chapter 10. The Power of Drifting Fruits. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sauron looked at the Golden Lion on the screen, his sword constantly waving. This is a senior with swordsmanship far above his own. That's a legendary swordsman who, with his own strength, swept through the headquarters of the Navy. Master's move, rare. Sauron was mesmerized by every move and form of the Golden Lion, as if it were a martial arts secret. Naruto, Assassin 567, Magical Girl, Pokémon, Digimon, and more, anyone who has knowledge of swordsmanship will be amazed by the appearance of the Golden Lion. This guy can actually unleash such eerie spiritual power, and his swordsmanship is simply the pinnacle of our world. In the picture, the Golden Lion unleashes the ability to fly fruits. Lion's power, earth roll. A loud shout came from behind. With a roar from the lion, the originally flat ground suddenly swelled up. Dozens of male lions made of soil, cement, and even corpses rushed towards the Warring States period. That lion, standing at a height of 100 meters, exuded a terrifying pressure, causing countless navies to stop. Only a few lieutenants and a few brigadiers could stand there. Standing in the center of the Warring States period, he watched this scene with a calm expression on his face. Bang! A huge shock wave swept in from afar, directly crushing the Golden Lion into pieces. General Kapu, why did you come? Seeing Kapu, the Warring States also breathed a sigh of relief and said, he will be executed in a week's time in his birthplace, Rog Town, East China Sea. The Golden Lion was so angry that his forehead veins were bulging with disbelief. Cap walked up to him, his hair had turned black, not as leisurely as 20 years later. He was wearing a black suit and a white cloak of justice. Roger's death will make all the pirates lose their fighting spirit. The merry. Luffy scratched his head and couldn't believe his eyes. Grandpa's iron fist should be used to deal with this terrible guy. What kind of strength am I now? Ah, my dream of defeating my grandfather is about to be shattered. On the other side, Nami widened her eyes and looked at Luffy. Ace, who was also chasing Tiki, couldn't help but swallow his saliva and looked incredulous. Even if his current strength is strong enough, seeing this old man will make him feel scared. Oh my. These guys definitely can't beat Dad. I, Ace, will never doubt this. In a tavern, Black Hut Tiki looked at the enraged Golden Lion and said thoughtfully. Is this old guy still alive? Drifting fruit. Blackbeard swallowed the strawberry pie and turned around to leave. Hey. I didn't even give any money. As the sound of swords and knives echoed, a hint of grimace appeared on Blackbeard's face. The secret passage. Jia 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 jia. With the floating fruit, my strength will be stronger. His strength is no longer below my father's. Super Theological Academy. Morgana suddenly laughed while eating melons. Good guy. Enough loyalty. Just like Morgana, the forces of various supernatural universes have also received similar news. This screen has exceeded our cognitive range and should come from a higher dimension, said Carl, the Grim Reaper, with a somewhat solemn expression. Carl shook his head and said, the void is the greatest, the void is the most mysterious. But the Angel Clan attaches great importance to this scene. Although still weak, it's not entirely useless. Kaisha lifted her pure white jade legs. Moreover, the battles here can also serve as a reference, which is also a way to abandon technology. Rick and Morty, the grandparents and grandchildren who had just returned from outside, were gathered around the dining table, watching the video with great interest. Half a day ago, this incredible scene appeared. Although it was somewhat eerie, the people on this planet seemed to have become immune to this strange phenomenon. In less than an hour, the whole world, and even the entire multiverse, everyone has relaxed their vigilance. This is a new way of entertainment. Wow! Xia looked at the majestic golden lion and jumped up with excitement. As a knowledgeable player, he naturally knows what to do. At the end of summer, I still couldn't resist the ambitious old man, the golden lion. Great! Morty said excitedly as she continued her severed arm. Rick, the first brain of the universe, sat cross-legged on the coffee table. Although he was also interested in this adventure, he couldn't tolerate his granddaughter and grandson praising others. Humph, is that all? It's not a match for technology at all. Don't overestimate yourself. Do you think you can split open the sea with one sword? Sneered Mo Dad, who was already mesmerized on the side. Rick threw the wine bottle in his hand onto the ground and looked at Mo Dad, who dared to talk back, with extremely cold eyes. Believe it or not, I will directly separate the universe. Upon hearing this, Mo's timid father could no longer withstand Rick's gaze. Upon seeing this scene, Modi smiled obsequiously and said that the person she was certain of in her grandfather's video was impressive. Mommy, who had been silent all along, suddenly asked a shocking question. Okay, Dad. Can you tell me how this screen came about? Rick. Anyway, he is definitely not from our multiverse. Assassin worldLet stuffed a handful of popcorn into his mouth, completely ignoring the trembling claws of Chicken DeBayo. Please don't come to Little Chicken Island. Little Chicken Island can't even stop you with a sword. Can humans really do this? Pokémon began to doubt life. Masking the cat boss's fur, I feel like my art style is a bit off. If humans really have such powerful power, why keep elves? But let's wait until that clone is refined before we talk. Junshin Town is completely silent. A little boy who appeared to be only about 10 years old was staring at the screen with a frightened expression, watching the terrifying blow of the golden lion. The little intellectual disability couldn't help but touch his arm and said, if this knife goes down, my arm will be cut off, right? At this moment, the golden lion sneered, is the legend of the One Piece King over like this? What a joke. The domineering aura is once again soaring, even a naval lieutenant cannot resist. Only a very small number of strong individuals can withstand the power of domineering colors. Yellow apes, red dogs, young children, peach rabbits, tea dolphins, and others are all struggling to support themselves. This is his last humiliation. The golden lion leaped straight into the air, reaching thousands of meters. At this moment, Cap also had a solemn expression on his face and gently untied his cloak. The Warring States period also took off its cloak and shone with golden light on its body, saying, "Don't try to interfere in my judgment." At this moment, the golden lion in the sky laughed heartily. Iron Fist Carp. Just consider it a gift from me to you. The golden lion trembled and pointed below. The sky suddenly darkened. It's like being obscured by something. The screen switched to the Navy side, and the faces of Warring States and Cap gradually became solemn. All the navies looked bewildered. When the screen flies into the sky, most people in the lower world have weak legs and collapse to the ground. Are you joking? So strong. What should I do? The other few people were the same, including Brother Shi, Bai Xiaofei, Wu Liuqi, and others, all feeling hopeless in the face of this terrifying force. And according to him, this is just a gift. In the picture, dozens of islands descend at an extremely fast speed behind the Golden Lion. In addition, there are various warships, pirate ships, and weapons. In the end, the scene froze on the body of the Warring States period. A 3-person melee took 3 days and 3 nights to capture the Golden Lion, at the cost of destroying half of the Navy headquarters. The video only slowly ended here. Shocked. Terrifying. This is a grand pirate leader. Drifting fruit. Whether it is deterrence or destructive power, it is astonishing. The visual impact of this video is too stunning.